So um, we're going to take a look at one of literally the first professional photos I ever took. And it has its issues, but I love it dearly because it's a part of who I am and it's a part of what I became. This specific shot I'm about to show you was on a shoot that I did with my friend Scott Papik, and he convinced me it's time to go on your first location shoot. So we did. So we met up in Portland and we moved all the way up to Seattle to the Canadian border and then back down again. But this was the first shot, and I shot this. It was probably about an hour and a half after we landed in Portland and picked up our car, and we ended up on the edge of the Portland of the gorge outside Portland, and it was 2012, and if you look, you can see up here in the sky that smoke, because this was October, beginning of October, and the fires that had been through Oregon were just starting to putter out. But it created this magical wisp of clouds and smoke that created just a magical sunset for what was one of the first prints that I ever sold. Now, in today's experience and the way I look at it now, I mean, there's an awful lot about this shot that I don't think I'd do again, but it's just, it's an important factor, I believe, that you should never try and erase things that you've created in the past, because you look at them and go, oh, what was I thinking? What you were thinking was you were learning. I was learning. I had no idea what I was doing here, except I had this urge to capture. I had this urge to capture nature and capture moments in time, and I had this urge to make an impact on the world in a way that was different to music, which is what I'd done since I was a teenager. And when it came to this specific shot of the Columbia Gorge, that's it. This was the angle that I had to pick from, because I couldn't go out in the current because it was cold, and obviously I didn't have a boat. So this is the angle I picked, and I picked the rocks at the foreground and up the coastline of the gorge and then to the sunset. But I picked these three old posts in the front, and the main thing was, it's like I was looking at them going, these are like centuries in a way, but they've been here for such a long time, and I want to capture them. And I remember the first time somebody bought this, I was absolutely, well, actually, I was confused first, I think. I was confused because Scott had convinced me to put it up on my then very, very infinitely smaller website. And somebody bought it. And I was confused because I was like, what did they see in this? It's like, and then it started to dawn on me after this shot as I got into it. It started to dawn on me that it is actually possible for people to really like what you do. And therefore, it's also possible for you to be proud of what you do. And it's very, very possible for people to fall in love with a moment in time that you've captured or something creative that you've done, that you've captured, that you've shared with the world. So I guess when I look at this, I look at number one, how far I've come. And I definitely pat myself on the back because realistically, I'm allowed to, and you're allowed to. And I think of the experience of shooting and capturing this moment in time, that you're looking at now. I remember how cold it was that day. I remember that I didn't care. And I remember that Scott was just to my left-hand side, balanced on a rock, cussing about the weather and how fast the light was disappearing. And I was just so caught up in the moment that I didn't care whether I got a shot or not. I just enjoyed the moment. But I am so grateful that somebody bought this shot because they changed my life trajectory. Trajectory? Direction. Anyway. So I just thought I'd share that. So next time you think back to something that you've created that might be a little less experienced than something you can do today, embrace it. Embrace it, remember the experience, and then remind yourself how far you've come. Much love. Cheers.